Hello and welcome back to the channel where today we have the Tycoon news for the month of September 2018, where there is not as much news as last month, but still quite a substantial amount. I tried to, size it down from last month to see how it goes. Of course, all the links are now down below, as well as the timestamps. I have sorted that out completely now, after a little muck-up last month. So that is all fixed now. If there's anything else you think I should add into the videos, please do tell me below. Anyway, this week, starting with Tropico 6 has had its beta released 2 months early this week, and is available if you have pre-ordered the main game, which comes out in January. That is a beta, of course. The beta in many ways works upon its previous iteration by adding many more features and modernizing the concept of Tropico itself. The game is available for pre-order for £40 in the UK here at the moment. Some of the main new features are the ability to work on many islands at once by utilizing bridges, amongst other methods. Raids are used to steal wonders of the worlds and the function of blueprints. Another feature is all new research and customization system, and many more additions that help you throughout your rule of Tropico itself. If you want to see more gameplay of the all-new game, then there is, of course, playlists of gameplay you can find in the cards above on your right. Next up, we have Parkasurus, a cartoon-style dino park builder released this week to rave reviews, or Steam puts it, very positive. The game has been touted as better and more in-depth than this year's Jurassic World release, which is very good in my opinion, if you're being held so highly compared to other games. The game features astonishing gameplay, from building and maintaining your park to caring for your dinos. It is done all extraordinarily well, I can tell you after playing it myself. I'm not saying that as if I was paid to say that or anything. I got someone telling me that, actually. Anyway, alongside the release this week, the game also received an update to patch some bugs that were discovered upon release, and to include what they call the Dino Wrangler feature. With this feature, you can have a first-person experience of your park, and utilize your trusty tranquilizer gun as well to save your guests from the inevitable death when they're being eaten. All the links, of course, are down below to the post detailing that, and to Parkasurus itself. Next up, we have good old Game Dev Studio. Like usual, this has gotten a whole host of new updates like it does every few weeks. The standout feature this month is the all-new workshop capabilities that have been added into the game. This gives players the ability to add their own features and functions to the game. A full list of mods and potential mods can be seen in the posts linked below. Alongside this, the game received a new tutorial to help new players through learning the whole process and the whole how you work and do everything in the game. It also included a whole host of fixes and optimizations. If you have yet to play Game Dev Studio, I highly recommend you do, as it has a very positive review score on Steam. Moving along, we have a slightly new addition to the whole video concept I'm doing here. News Tycoon is on sale right now. I want to do a quick new addition to this section, which is basically just showcasing any good games, or kind of good games, that are in the Tycoon genre that are on sale. Right now, until October the 1st, you can buy News Tycoon for $1.99, and I mean, it may have a objectionable review score on Steam, but who can complain if it's $1.99? I don't know about in other currencies. So yeah, it's pretty cheap anyway, and just to see what the game's like, I'd recommend you'd go ahead and do it. I certainly bought it last week. Moving along back into news stories, we have Prison Architect, which this month saw Introversion Software release an alpha version of their multiplayer addition to Prison Architect. It allows up to 8 people to build one prison at once, and includes public and private rooms as the usual multiplayer choices would, with local, not local, but like, you can play online and make it private between other people. Currently, not all of the single-player features have been added to the multiplayer game. However, there are plans to work on them and put them into the multiplayer game as soon as possible. If you somehow have yet to hear of Prison Architect and its glorious gameplay, it is a game where you build and manage your very own prison, and Prison Architect currently sits as one of the most positive ratings I can find on Steam, with a very positive rating on Steam as it stands. Next up, congratulations are in order to the developers over at Interstellar Transport Company, which had its 1-year anniversary this month. Also, a celebration added to that was the fact that they sold 10,000 copies in their first year. In the post, they highlighted all of their achievements with the game in the first year of development after release, and they highlighted a roadmap for year 2 of the game itself. To read the whole post in the details, see the links below for more to read up on. of a post, basically. Moving along, we have Tech Corp. This month, Tech Corp had its release date. This release date came, and then it went. And sadly, the game that everyone has been talking about has now been delayed until at least January next year, if not later. The developers spoke about how they wanted to add more features, and most of all, fix and debug what they had already as well. Before the release, of course. However, they also mentioned the lack of funding, and that if it didn't receive outside funding, the game could be delayed, either delayed even further, or they could bring the release forward and release a more scruffy version of the game to try and get more money to continue development. All in all, it's not the best story, but hopefully the game will still come out in the coming months. Moving along, we have the Colonists. This month, we learned that the Colonists will be coming closer to its release date after a private beta has been launched. Sign up for the beta was posted on Twitter last week, and many have been accepted into the private testing program. A release date is yet to be posted, however, a temporary timeline of October next month has been uploaded to Steam. With a polished beta releasing this close to the October date, it can't be that far off of the release of the game to come. If you have yet to hear of a Colonist, it is a Banished-style colony management game based on the premise that the intelligent AI has grown smarter than humans and wishes for a better life away from the human world, so they escape to a new planet where you, Headbot, begin the new civilization. All links for the game can be found below to Discord and to Steam. Anyway, that is this month's news episode just before the end of September, rounding up all the news stories for the past month. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any comments, any tips, anything to speak about, you can join our Discord server, or you can go ahead and put a comment down below. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next month, or tomorrow, with other videos on the channel. But until then, cheerio!